GTA San Andreas. We're doing the taxi driver missions, fares 1 through 12, AA gamer for life. And a big spoiler alert, I'm just going to say this up front. Okay, the next 4 videos is basically going from 0 to 50 on the taxi driver missions. If you're just curious about the end, then jump to the end of video 4 of the taxi drivers because basically you're just going to see me driving all over Los Santos. So okay, so at this point in the game, it's still very much in the beginning. I like getting this done. One, it definitely gets your driving skill up, and two, for the money. But as you can see, as far as the money goes, 11 million, I don't really need much. But one of the upsides to completing the 50 fares of the taxi is that any taxi will have nitrous in it, and that they'll bunny hop. So you're out and about and you need to jack a cab, at least it'll have nitro in it. But it's just one of the side missions out here to do. And if you're looking to get 100%, you will have to do the taxi missions. So, and it'll also get you very familiar with Los Santos because you will be driving back and forth. Okay, now one of the other things about the taxi that's nice is that you can go to the paint and spray in the middle of a fair, so the odds of getting all 50 fares done without smashing up your taxi is going to be probably slim. So I will take the time and hit the paint and spray as many times as I need to, and sometimes I'll do it even when I don't have to, just to keep the taxi in good working order. So this particular video is like 20 minutes long, and it's fares 1 through 12.
Hey, taxi, over here, man.
Okay, consider I'm right here. I'm going to go ahead and swing in the paint and spray. And if you can get a tip, great. But if not, don't worry about it. The taxi, making money with the taxi is cool, but it's not something you need to seriously focus on. It's mostly about getting your 50 fares in. Now, the other thing is that while you're doing the taxi missions, you're going to be doing it for a little bit, so you might want to make sure that CJ's got some fat on him, so once he starts becoming hungry, you're not going to lose any muscle mass because of that. And this truck stop always gets me. I forget that you got to go the other way around to get in there. And I'm going to run over some balls in the process. Okay, the other thing is doing your best to avoid getting a 1 level. But considering you can use the paint sprays, if you do, you should be able to get it out. Okay, that wasn't pretty, but got it done. Okay, so if you take a fare and it tells you to look for another one and it doesn't happen, just drive off a little bit. Eventually a fare will pop up.
Bowling is such an intellectual game. Clear out. He's pulling out.
Okay, that's the one on the northern part of Los Santos. So I'm going to take the train tracks up to the very top of the area and then cut over. Obviously watch out for the trains that may come along. Okay, so you can go to the paint and sprays, but you cannot get out of your taxi. So if you get out, it'll be mission failed, and you cannot do like 10 fares, quit, and then come back. All 50 fares need to be done consecutively. So it's not like, well, I'll do 20, stop, save the game, come back and do another 30. It don't work like that. So you have to do all 50 in a row. Every 10 fares you get a bonus, so that's just the way it works. So along with getting your taxi done, one of the big pluses is getting your driving skill up. The longer you're behind the wheel, the more driving skill you get. And after I do the taxi missions, I'm going to go ahead and do other things around Los Santos, like the courier and getting all the tags sprayed and that kind of stuff. And then eventually I'll do the jumps. But when you can, get behind the wheel of a car so you can get your driving skill up. By the time you get to the later part of the game, when you get to the racing, you would like to have your driving skill maxed out. It'll definitely help. A lot of the cars that you have to drive in the racing are very squirrely, so the higher your driving skill, the easier it will be. Just goes without saying. Also gonna, after I get done with the taxi, I'm gonna go off and do the pimping missions. Yo, taxi. Again, so if you're right by a paint and spray, repair your car. I didn't have to, but I'm right there. Again, getting a speed tip is great, but it's not about that. It's just about getting these stupid 50 fares done. So repair your taxi as much as you can, as often as you can.
I'm moving. Oh, what you doing, my wheels?
So the more familiar you become with Los Santos, the easier it will be. You pretty much know that they're going to be running you back and forth to the marina, back and forth to the tattoo shop in Idlewood, the golf course, to the airport, and so on. So if you're not familiar with Los Santos, by the time you're done with this, you will be. Okay, so that's at the end of the pier.
Taxi, I'm tired of waiting. Get a move on, mister.
Okay, so that looks like the barber shop right next to the tattoo place. So we're heading back that way. Yep, there's going to be a lot of rubbing during the taxi mission, so at least they didn't jack you like the other missions, like the ambulance, and obviously you couldn't do it in the vigilantes because the paint and sprays won't work on those vehicles. But although I did do several missions of the vigilante, I've done all videos on that. You can just check out those videos. Used the cop bike pretty much for all the vigilantes, and I did it in Los Santos, San Fierro, San Fierro, and Las Venturas, and then I also did the vigilante with the Brown Thunder, which is the helicopter. But the vigilante in Los Santos will be done like before I start to run any of the missions out here. And it's like one of the last side things I'll do before actually doing the story missions.
Here you go. Right here.
But in order to do the vigilantes, you will need several rounds of the minigun, and I will get into that once I start doing those, how to get the minigun. You got to go out to Las Venturas to do it, so that means you're going to have a wanted level. And it's quite a chore just to keep going back out there, but you need to have some good firepower to do the vigilante missions. Your object is to blow up the cars before the guys can even get out. So the last thing you want to do is shoot up the cars enough to where they get out, and then you have to get off the bike and shoot them. So to make your life a lot easier while doing them, you want to have the things. Alright, these ballers want to mess with me. I ain't got time for that. And you don't want to get pulled out of your car here, so just drive off and wait for another fare to pop up.
You hit me, fool!
I had room to drive.
I know you see me.
Oh no, dude.
I got to pay you
Oh! That wouldn't have been good. Looks like we're getting a little bit of rain out here in Los Santos, which hardly ever happens. Haha. Like rains all the freaking time.
If I ever need speed for weed, you the one.
I heard some new shit fly.
Out of my way.
Taxi's getting a little beat up.
My car.
You're gonna be a star.
So like I mentioned, it's not a fast process getting to 50 fares, but so be prepared to get behind the wheel and do this for an hour or so, because that's probably what it's going to take. And like I mentioned earlier, make sure that CJ's got some body fat on him, and there's one of the pluses for doing it, your driving skills getting up there.
Aw, this fool. What you been drinking?
In the
Yo,
2002.
taxi!
Let's go.
Okay, there always seems to be a lot of cops walking around in here, so be careful that you don't drive over any of them while you're doing it. Okay, so that was our first 10 fares completed and got our bonus. So every 10 you will get a bonus. So
This is what that waiting thing is? You earned this.
yo,
Don't make me get off my car.
Stay funny, they say.
Did you steal your license? I'm not in the mood.
That ride was the puta madre.
okay, so we're up to fare 12. We're gonna go ahead and break the video here
Bring your ass
and
in.
come back with 12 through 20.
You think this is a parade?
If you like the videos, you can always support us by checking out the ads.